At 82, I've gained a wealth of life experience, but there's one choice I truly regret: moving into a nursing home. Back then, it felt like the perfect decision. My family was all in, assuring me that I'd receive all the care and comfort I could ever want. I trusted them completely. However, when I arrived, I quickly discovered that the reality was completely different from what I had envisioned. Many of you are likely considering this option, whether for yourself or someone you care about. It might seem like the safest choice, or perhaps you've heard it will simplify your life. Before you take that leap, let me share 6 crucial insights I wish someone had shared with me before moving in. Life in a nursing home goes beyond mere convenience. It transforms everything. Once you step in, escaping isn't as easy as it seems. Stick around until the end. You might be surprised by some of these lessons. If you know someone thinking about a nursing home, this video could be just what they need to hear before making a life-changing choice. Let's dive in and get started. One regret stands out: losing my independence. The biggest surprise after moving into a nursing home wasn't the cramped room, the scheduled meals, or even the new faces around me. I suddenly realized I had lost control over my own life. Before moving in, I had my routines all set up. I took charge of my mornings, chose my meals, and shaped my day exactly how I wanted. I can stroll whenever I please, whip up my own meals, or simply relax in my favorite chair with a good book. Inside the nursing home, I soon discovered that my time was no longer mine to control. Everything operated on a schedule that didn't belong to me. Breakfast happened at a specific time, regardless of whether I felt hungry or not. Lights out struck at a specific hour, regardless of my bedtime readiness. How about going for a walk outside? Get ready to seek permission and be prepared to wait for someone to be available to help you out. Everyday decisions, such as what to eat or what to wear, began to feel less like simple choices and more like rare privileges. I can still picture my first week there, waking up in a bed that felt completely foreign to me. I sat up, stretched, and grabbed the book I had been diving into at home. As I scanned the room, it suddenly struck me: this place didn't feel like home. All my books, my favorite chair, and the little comforts I had spent years collecting are gone. All that surrounded them were bare walls and a single bed. I didn't make that choice. I felt an undeniable shift. I was no longer in control of my own life. What's the toughest challenge? Once you surrender your independence, reclaiming it becomes nearly impossible. You adapt because it's necessary. You quit the debate as soon as they announce what's for dinner. Stop waiting for permission to go for a walk whenever you feel like it. You adapt to their system, but along the way, you begin to lose sight of who you really are. Thinking about a nursing home? Ask yourself, are you prepared to let go of the little freedoms that define your life? Once they're gone, you'll realize just how much you'll miss them more than you ever imagined. Regret lingers, a sense of being overlooked. One of the toughest realities of moving into a nursing home is coming to terms with the fact that life outside continues on without you. Upon my arrival, my family promised they would come to see me frequently. I trusted them, and at first they delivered. My daughter dropped by weekly, and my grandchildren filled the weekends with joy. For a brief moment, it felt like I was still linked to my past life. As the months passed, the visits started to dwindle. My daughter has begun to call instead of coming over. My grandchildren dove into their school and work commitments. The holidays were the toughest. Everyone said they'd be there, but somehow, plans always seemed to shift at the last moment. Suddenly, I was sitting alone in the common room, watching as other residents fixated on the door, each of them hoping today would be the day someone finally remembered them. My family didn't stop loving me. Life simply got in the way. When you're not present every day, it's simple for others to think you're doing well, that you're adapting, and that you don't require as much attention. However, the reality is that the longer you stay in a nursing home, the more likely it is for people to overlook just how much you still rely on them. One evening, I found myself in my room, phone in hand, wrestling with the decision to call my son. I wanted to avoid being a burden. I hesitated to remind him of my presence, waiting for a visit that could be just a distant hope. I set the phone down. That's when it all clicked for me. This is my life now. As the days pass, I find myself wishing someone would think to include me. Considering a move to a nursing home? Take a moment to reflect. Are you ready for the loneliness that might come with it? No matter how deeply your family cares for you, once you're out of their sight, it's surprisingly easy to slip from their thoughts. If you're still tuned in and enjoying these insights, drop a comment with the number 2 below and to show me you're with me. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you won't miss a single video. Let's keep pushing ahead. Feeling regret? Let's dive into it. When I moved into the nursing home, I believed I was simply changing my address. I had no idea I was also transforming the very reason I lived. I had responsibilities at home. I had my routines, exciting hobbies, and a purpose that motivated me to rise each morning. Even the little tasks, watering the plants, brewing my own coffee, organizing my space, filled me with a sense of purpose. However, in the nursing home, those daily rituals vanished. Someone prepared meals just for me. Someone else took care of the cleaning. The plants? They were no longer my responsibility. I initially thought it would be great to finally unwind, say goodbye to chores and responsibilities. It's time to relax. After a few weeks, I discovered that something was missing. The days dragged on, endlessly stretched with nothing but waiting ahead. I noticed it in other residents as well. Once vibrant individuals now find themselves trapped in a cycle of sitting, staring, and waiting for time to slip away. Meet George, an 84-year-old carpenter who has dedicated his entire life to mastering his craft. At home, he was constantly tinkering, creating exciting little projects in his garage. Yet here he found himself without tools, projects, or anything to ignite his creativity. I saw him slowly pull his hands away just once, powerful and capable, now resting in his embrace. I feel useless, he confided in me one day. I totally understood what he was getting at. Without something to care for or a goal to strive toward, life begins to feel empty. As the mind decelerates, the body naturally aligns. Before long, you begin to sense that you're just another face in the crowd, in a place where time ticks away, yet nothing truly transforms. Thinking about a nursing home? Reflect on what truly gives your life meaning. Once you move in, discovering your purpose becomes more than just filling your time. It's all about the struggle to cling to what truly makes you feel vibrant and alive. Regret 4. My health is declining more rapidly than I anticipated. Before I moved into a nursing home, I was thriving for my age. I may not have been running marathons, but I was definitely taking care of myself. Take invigorating walks and whip up my own delicious meals. I had my little routines that kept me energized and on the go. Grocery shopping and stretching, just walking around the house to keep my legs strong. Once I settled in, everything transformed. Initially, it felt like I was simply relaxing. Delicious meals were delivered right to me, freeing me from the hassle of cooking in the kitchen. Whenever I needed assistance, I could simply press a button and help would be right there. I didn't realize that the less I focused on myself, the weaker I became. I halted my activity, and before long, my legs began to feel increasingly stiff. I found myself sitting more than ever, and suddenly, getting up from a chair felt like a daunting task. The muscles I had dedicated years to building were vanishing quicker than I could have imagined. It wasn't only me, I witnessed it happening to others as well. Individuals who once walked on their own 2 feet found themselves suddenly dependent on wheelchairs. Individuals who once thrived on their independence now find themselves seeking assistance with tasks that were once effortless. The more assistance we received, the more it felt like we required it. I recall my neighbor Alice, the Thrinid Wasiris Chabirijuruthuncha, an 81-year-old woman who brought so much energy when she first moved in. She made it a point to take daily walks around the facility, determined not to let a number hold her back. After a few months, I realized she wasn't walking as much anymore. She began with a walker and soon transitioned to a wheelchair. One day she turned to me and said, "I don't know when it happened, but it feels like I aged 10 years in just a few months." It truly felt that way. Stop using your body and you'll start losing it. In a nursing home where everything is tailored for ease, it's crucial to remember that movement goes beyond convenience. It's essential for survival. If I had realized how fast my strength would fade, I would have fought tooth and nail to keep moving, to stay active, to challenge myself even on the toughest days. Thinking about a nursing home? Consider this. Will you still feel driven to maintain your strength when everything around you is designed for ease? Once you slow down, Bouncing back isn't as simple as you might believe. If you're still tuned in and enjoying these insights, drop a comment with the number 4 below to let me know you're with me. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you won't miss any of our exciting videos. Your support fuels our mission to create engaging content that informs and inspires you. Let's keep pushing ahead. I deeply regret the loss of privacy and dignity. I never fully grasped how much privacy I would sacrifice before moving into a nursing home. I had my own space at home. I can shut my bedroom door, embrace the silence, and take charge of my own experience. In a nursing home, privacy often feels like a luxury that's out of reach. As soon as I stepped in, the feeling of being under constant observation hit me. Staff were always coming and going, there were scheduled room checks, and the shared spaces left little room for solitude. Even basic tasks like getting dressed or using the bathroom frequently needed someone's help. I understand they were just fulfilling their role, but it's tough to accept assistance for tasks you have handled on your own for so long. I vividly recall my first week grappling with the realization that I now had to seek permission for actions I used to take without a second thought. Ready to jump in the shower? Please be patient as you may need to wait for someone to assist you. Looking for a restroom? Pressing the call button can often lead to longer wait times than you expect. Meal choices were quite restricted. If the menu doesn't appeal to you today, that's just tough luck. Next up, we had to tackle the roommate situation. Not everyone has the luxury of a private room, and sharing a space with someone you didn't select can be quite frustrating. I was fortunate to have a kind roommate, but I've heard some eye-opening stories from others who weren't as lucky. Some dealt with roommates who were noisy, messy, or even had challenges that made getting a good night's sleep nearly impossible. No matter how hard you work to make your room feel like home, it will never really belong to you. Dignity is something precious, and I had no idea how much I would have to give up until I found myself in that moment. When people knock but rush in without waiting for a response, when you're treated like a patient rather than a person, and when your daily routines are controlled by a schedule you didn't design, it transforms you. You begin to feel detached from your true self, becoming just another name on a list. Thinking about a nursing home, ask yourself, are you ready to let go of the privacy and control you've enjoyed all your life? Once it's gone, getting it back is a challenge. Regret 6, coming to terms with the fact that leaving is tougher than you ever imagined. When I first moved into the nursing home, I convinced myself it was just a temporary situation. I decided to give it a shot, see how it goes, and if it doesn't work out, I can always walk away. What I didn't see coming was the struggle to escape once I was in. Initially, it appeared straightforward. If I wasn't enjoying it, I'd simply head back home. Home just didn't feel the same anymore. My house stood vacant, and keeping up with it from afar proved to be a challenge. My children jumped right in, making changes by selling things they thought I wouldn't need, and even exploring the idea of renting out the place. When I suggested the idea of returning, they paused. Can you really handle this by yourself? Isn't it wiser to stay put? We truly want the best for you. Next came the challenge of physical decline. After months of enjoying a life where cooking, cleaning, and even walking far were off the table, I realized I wasn't as strong as I once was. As my independence began to fade, the thought of moving back home became more challenging than I ever anticipated. I struggled with my confidence to live alone, and that fear held me back. I encountered others who shared the same experience. They decided to give the nursing home a shot, but soon discovered that leaving was far more challenging than they had anticipated. The more time you spend here, the tougher it gets to adapt to life beyond these walls. Some people completely lost the option. Once their home was sold or their savings were depleted by the cost of care, there was no turning back. That's the piece of information everyone overlooks. Moving in may seem like a choice you can easily undo, but for many, it's a commitment that's hard to take back. The nursing home gradually takes over your entire existence, and before you realize it, the vibrant life you once lived begins to fade into a distant memory. If you're thinking about a nursing home, consider this. Are you ready for the reality that once you enter, getting out might not be as straightforward as you imagine? Once you settle in, you might find that the barriers to leaving, be they financial, physical, or emotional, can be tougher to break through than you anticipate. If you're still tuned in and enjoying these insights, drop a comment with the number 6 below to show me you're with me. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you won't miss a single video. Your support empowers us to keep delivering great content that informs and inspires you. Salam, Mom. Wrapping it up. Reflecting on my journey, I embrace the passage of time, yet I wish I hadn't considered a nursing home as my only choice. I stepped in, ready for comfort, safety, and an improved quality of life. I discovered a world that gradually stripped away my independence, my privacy, my purpose, and even my sense of self. Are all nursing homes really that bad? Not really. Many individuals truly require the level of care they offer. Before you make that decision, take a moment to consider what you're letting go of, because once you move in, everything will change. If I had the chance to do it all again, I would have fought tooth and nail to remain in my own home, sought out every possible avenue for assistance without sacrificing my independence, and ensured that my need for a change was absolutely necessary before taking such a drastic step. If you're at this crossroads, take a moment to ask yourself, is this really what's best for me? Or is this simply the path of least resistance at the moment? Your current life, with its routines, independence, and choices, is something to cherish and hold on to for as long as possible. We appreciate you being here with us today. We want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell us one thing you learned today and how you intend to apply it in your life. We value your thoughts, so feel free to share them with us. Your comments inspire and energize us immensely. If you loved this video and found it useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support empowers us to keep delivering great content that informs and inspires you. We appreciate you tuning in, and we can't wait to catch you in the next video.